What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about 3 easy ways that wide receivers can improve their route running and take their route running to that next level. We're going to be talking about the mental side of things, how you guys can structure a plan off the line of scrimmage, and ultimately the main things you guys are going to get some separation with at the top of the route. So I hope this video gives you guys some value, but also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver, you want to improve your route running in 2 weeks, and you want to learn 20 new press releases, when to use them, and drills to work on them, check out that very first link in the description for our route running Bible. What you'll get access to is 2 separate videos, a 48-minute long video on how to improve your route running in 10 days. It's a 10-day schedule, a 2-week schedule to improve your route running, specific drills, routes, and techniques that we teach that you guys can't get anywhere else on our social media pages. And then also we have a 20 press release video where we break down 20 different press releases, when to use them, and specific drills that you guys can do to work on those. So I hope you guys could check that out. Very first link in the description for our route running Bible. Let's get started with this video. So number one thing that wide receivers do not know about and that they do not understand is that a DB's responsibility is what matters in us structuring our plan, okay? So we got to understand what the DB is going to be coming at us with based on how he's lined up. So when you walk up to the line of scrimmage, you should already know based on his leverage, how he's lined up, how close he is, where he's looking, what his responsibility is going to be. So let's watch this clip full speed. So we have an inside shade kind of catch technique DB where he's on the goal line and we're running a goal line fade. So let's watch it full speed. So this receiver does a great job doing that squirt release, attacking his leverage, and then bursting back up to the outside running this fade. So why are we doing this? This DB's inside shade for one reason. He does not want to give up the inside, right? So that's the main key. He wants to force you to that sideline, especially down here on the goal line. He wants you to think that, oh, he's inside shade. I'm going to just run a fade and just burst up to the outside, and he's going to get right on your hip and force you to the sideline. What you got to understand as a receiver is my goal is to threaten him to where he doesn't want to go. That's the same as press. That's the same as if he's in zone. You want to threaten him where he doesn't want to let you, right? So if it's in zone coverage and he's off, you want to threaten him to that blind spot because he doesn't want to let you get behind him. That's his whole responsibility in zone. He's inside shade pressed. He doesn't want you to take a free inside release, so that's where we want to threaten him. If he's inside shade, off man, or catch technique, I still want to threaten him to the inside, and I want to attack his leverage to force him to move to the inside, right? So now, this receiver does a great job of squaring him up, right? Now, main thing is that we want to threaten him with a slant in this case, right? And now a lot of people think that, oh, well, what if he just stays to the outside? What if I give him this move and then I go run into him? Well, the next time that we actually run this route, next time I'm in this situation, I can just square him up, do the exact same thing, then run a slant. If he wants to give me the inside, I'm just going to take the inside. It's sometimes the DB's just in the right spot at the right time, but if we can structure our plan and we can structure our releases off the line to where they all look the same, I'll get separation eventually, right? And then we get into his head, and just one play like this can really change the course of the game throughout the rest of the 4 quarters, right? So now we do a great job of squaring him up, great job of attacking his leverage, and now we threaten him to the inside. And how you threaten him to that inside is you got to make sure that you throw to the inside, right? I got to sell with my upper half. If you guys don't sell with your upper half and you guys don't give a little bit of a move with your upper half, this DB's not going to jump because he's not watching. He shouldn't be watching my eyes, and he's definitely not going to be watching your feet. He's supposed to be watching this core and that hip area. So that's what I have to sell with. I have to throw to the inside and actually sell with my upper half. So now what gets him to jump here is when I jump to what gets him to jump to the inside is, like I said, the upper half, but now I got to make sure that I keep my head down, I burst up, and I win that race to the outside. We threaten him to where he doesn't want to go. If you guys can threaten him to the inside when he's inside shade, he's going to move off that platform and I can create some space. That's what we have to understand, what the DB's responsibility is. His responsibility is inside. He doesn't want to give up the inside. He's outside shade. He doesn't want to give up the outside shade. He's got help to the inside. So we want to threaten him where he does not want to go. Let's watch this thing full speed. So number one, easy thing that wide receivers can do to take their routes to that next level is understand the DB's job, understand what the DB is trying to accomplish with his specific alignment and his specific coverage. Just watch it full speed. Great job squaring him up by this receiver, giving him that move with the upper half, and then winning that race back to the outside. So now we're going to be taking a look at this slide release here. So main thing about this slide release, what I want to talk about is that you got to know when to use these specific moves. So many receivers struggle with this. So many receivers don't know when to use more patient releases. They don't know timing of the entire play. As a receiver, you should know the entire play on the field. You should know what the quarterback's drop is. You should know what the pass protection is. You should know what every other receiver is running, because that's how you can be a second quarterback on the field and know what to expect, right? So in this case, right, we're using a slide release on the goal line. Now, why would he use this slide release? Can you just use this in any situation? No, you cannot use a slide release in every situation. situation, especially on the goal line. Usually what a quarterback's getting is a lot of pressure. They're probably going to be bringing 6, 7, sometimes maybe even 8 guys, right? Most likely not, but sometimes they're going to be bringing 6 or 7 guys. And that means the quarterback's got to get this ball out of his hands fast. So usually I just want to give this guy something quick and let's get to the spot because the quarterback needs to get it out, and a slant route is a great man coverage beater. Now, he's using a slide release. So this probably tells me that they're working a situation where it's like an RPO, right? So an RPO is a little bit longer developing. So let's talk about it. Let's say the situation they're working is when you got a linebacker to the inside right here, and you got the people in the box, and we're doing a little play action fake in the backfield right here, and this linebacker crashes. Okay, we just replace that linebacker with this slant, and I dump it off to him from the quarterback perspective. I pull the ball out of the running back's gut, and I just let the receiver have this thing right in that spot. Now, if I'm a receiver and I need to get to this spot and there's a linebacker here and I don't take this patient release and I just get there right now, I got another linebacker who could just drift back over the top and make a play because I got there too quick, even if this linebacker crashes or even if he stays home. So I got to understand the timing of the play. This is a situation they could be working, right? There could be something else that they're working. Maybe they're working like a right to left concept where this guy's the third read. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're working, right? If I'm just being honest. But those are the different situations that you guys would want to use a slide release or this more patient release off the line of scrimmage, right? It's not what you want to use when you got to go run a dig, right? Like let's say we're in the middle of the field. You see this all the time. You see coaches teaching it and it pisses me off to no end. But when you slide to the outside, you make a move like this, take the inside release, go run a corner, go run a post. That takes too long. You got to understand when you see man coverage, quarterback more often than not is going to be getting pressure, right? Probably going to be getting 6 or 7 man pressure, especially at the high school and youth level. They're not going to be coming with man coverage unless they're going to be pressuring that quarterback and daring him to get the ball out of his hands fast, right? So the slide release has got to be used sparingly, and you got to know when to use those quicker releases, okay? So know the situation. The second easy thing that wide receivers can do to improve their routes and to structure that plan off the line is understand the situation, understand the timing of the play, and understand the play as a whole. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. Great job using this slide to get outside the DB's frame and actually throwing with my upper half to create some separation. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about today, fellas, the third tip to become a better route runner, take your route running to that next level, third easy thing you could do is your pad level, okay? So now we talked about this in the very first clip, right? So we got an inside shade DB. So what's he trying to take away? Trying to take away the inside. He wants to force me to that sideline and wants to make me a yard away from the sideline. So this is going to be a comeback route. Let's watch this thing full speed, then we'll talk about it. So this receiver really doesn't give much off the line of scrimmage. You see he just gets bullied to the sideline. But again, he has no space to go run back to that ball because of how close he got to the sideline, right? He started on the top of the numbers and he ended up a yard from the sideline. It's not good. And how he ended up there is because this pad level was very tall and he exposed, like literally because he's wearing this jersey, he exposed his numbers, right? You don't ever want to expose your numbers. You don't ever want to raise your chest up and expose your numbers because that's how that DB can get hands and just wall you straight off of this thing. So he doesn't really get much of a move to the off the line of scrimmage, which isn't necessarily bad. He's still able to get up into this route, but when your chest is up here and your hands are wide, that's not a good thing. That's not a good sign. So to make you guys a better route runner, to actually get you up into routes with no indicators on your routes, actually being fast, it doesn't look like you're thinking about too much what you're doing, is your pad level needs to be in a good position, right? So now, what I mean by pad level is a lot of people take it too literally and they'll like almost hunch forward. I know somebody asked a question on this channel the other day about, okay, well now when I'm running routes, I feel slow because now I'm too hunched forward. There's a gray area, right? You don't want to be straight up tall like this receiver. You don't want to be hunched forward because that's going to make you slow and you're not going to have any drop and any suddenness to what you do. You want to find that gray area, like that hunched forward straight up. You want to find that gray area right in here to where if a DB is to get hands on you and you're to be hunched forward, he's not going to knock you completely off this thing and force you towards that sideline. So you got to make sure that you don't have a bad pad level. You keep a good pad level off the line of scrimmage so you don't get walled to the sideline. Because you see when he runs this comeback route and he's breaking this thing off, yard from the sideline, a quarterback is throwing this thing right now and he's trying to lead you back downhill, but the route got cut short, so you're not able to accelerate and you're not able to just ultimately finish the play because you have to stop yourself because you're right next to the line of scrimmage. And that all is tied into pad level, fellas. So make sure that no matter what, we have a good pad level because that doesn't give the DB an indicator, but also it makes us fast into this break and helps us fight that jam that a DB is going to hit us with. We can't panic anytime a DB gets hands on me. A lot of guys, when a DB gets hands, they just panic. They stop. They forget about it. A good pad level will help you guys combat those hands and continue to get you up into the stem portion to the break of this route. Let's watch it full speed again one more time. Just make sure that we have a good pad level, fellas, when we burst up so we can have some explosion and can create some separation. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Always appreciate the feedback. Always appreciate the new ideas that you guys give. It helps fuel the page, so I really appreciate that. And again, fellas, Route Running Bible. You want over an hour and a half's worth of specific wide receiver content on how to improve your route running in 10 days, 20 different press releases, when to use them, and drills to work on each one. Very first link in the description, fellas. I hope you guys could check it out. I'll see you guys next time.